Okay. Oh man. Okay. Let's see. Let's go over it. Hopefully I'll be in the shot this time. Okay. So, welcome to Scott in Asia. Right now I'm somewhere in the mountains near Zhuji, Zhejiang. Actually, I'm looking at Zhuji City right now from up here. It's Monday, October 30th, 2023. I'm sweating balls because I just walked up this freaking ridge line. It's super steep. And I just discovered some old paved sections of this trail, which is probably 2,000, 3,000 year old trail. If not, it could be more. Who knows? A lot of the history of China has been lost, so maybe even the Chinese people don't know. However, I'm going to hopefully ask somebody that might know about the history of this area. So, that'll probably be a teacher at school. I'll ask. So today, before I start blabbling, I want to say thank you to Steve Isdell at his YouTube channel. It's called The Facts by HowToHunt.com, and I really like his way of thinking, and also his and also what he's doing. Okay, what he's doing, like helping people tell their stories and trying to learn about what the hell is going on in this reality. Like, what is this reality all about? And I think we humans definitely do not know the real truth. That's for sure. We're definitely kept in the dark. So if you don't know who I'm talking about, just look it up. And also, he has inspired me to tell some of my stories as well. So we are all storytellers, and I want to also inspire people to tell their stories as well. And I have a lot of stories. I have a shit ton of stories. Okay, such as wildland firefighting stories. I was a wildland firefighter for 10 seasons. I also have a lot of Thailand stories. I lived in Thailand for 10 years. I have some China stories. I now have lived in China now for 4 years. 2 years in Jining, Shandong, and now 2 years here in Zhuji, Zhejiang. So now we're in the mountains of Zhuji, Zhejiang. And you can check out some of my other videos if you want to see the beautiful viewpoint right here. You can see the speed trains going to and fro. Yeah, it's just an awesome day. And normally, I'm almost getting to the story. So normally, it's Monday, October 30th. Tomorrow's Halloween. And normally, this time of year, it's not this hot. So this is rare. Normally, it's pretty cool. It starts, like, winter starts to kick in this time of year. But today, summer was like, nope, I'm not going away. So summer is back today. Summer has been back all week. And I'm taking advantage of it because once winter hits, it's not nice. It's not this nice. So I'm loving the getting the sun this late in the year and getting in the exercise. Yeah, and appreciating nature today. Okay, so let's tell the story. So today, or no, sorry. So this was probably about 2015 plus or minus. So this is like what, 8 years ago. I was working as a chemistry teacher in Bangkok, Thailand. I'm also a chemistry teacher here in Zhuji, and I went home during the summer. Okay, so I could fight some forest fires and see my family. Okay, so make some money, a little bit extra money, and see my family. So this is like July of 2015. I don't know, plus or minus a couple of years. I can't remember exactly. It doesn't really matter though. So we're working near the border of Oregon and California, in the Siskiyou Mountains, and we we have a crew of 20 guys, and I'm a squad boss, and my cousin Andrew is the crew boss. So this day we were tasked, like we were literally on the border of California and Oregon. We were tasked to put out the hot spots on the Oregon side of the border because California didn't want us to go into their territory. They wanted to take care of their own land. So we were on the Oregon side, and our job was to walk around. So we broke up into squads of 5. So I had a radio. We had like 4 radios. So we had 4 groups of 5 guys, and we were tasked to put out hot spots. Okay, so the fire wasn't really burning anymore. It was just smoldering in areas. So we're going around doing seek and destroy. So we're walking around until we come across something that's smoking, and then we didn't have any water, so we would just kind of use our tool and mix it with the mineral soil. We didn't have any water, but however, we did have a helicopter helping us out that day. So my cousin Andrew was calling in bucket drops and to get some of the smokes out where we needed more water. Excuse me, I'm just sweating balls today. Yeah, so my crew, or my squad and I, we take off doing search and destroy, looking for work to do, looking for smokes to put out. Okay, so we're walking along this meadow, and then right on the edge of where the mountain starts to go up. So there's like a ranch and a green meadow, and then the mountain, and right where the meadow meets the mountain, there's like a rock bluff. So, but to get on the rock bluff, you kind of have to go up the mountain because you can't climb the rock bluff, right? It's too steep. So let me do this. So we all go up the mountain to where this rock bluff is. So we kind of come up behind it like this, and it was a much bigger. Well, let me repeat myself and shout. It was a much bigger rock bluff than this, maybe 10x bigger. So we came up behind it from the mountain, and then I stood on top of the rock bluff, right? And I looked down, and I could see my cousin Andrew, and he's probably like, I don't know, 100 feet away. He gets on the radio and says, and he's down in the meadow, so I'm looking down at him, and I'm standing like this on the rock bluff. But imagine it was like the rock bluff was at least 10 times the size of this, and I'm like probably 15 feet above the meadow, and 15 feet higher than the meadow. So I'm looking down at my cousin, and he gets on the radio and goes, so he sees me, he gets on the radio and goes, "Scott, this is Andrew." I go, "Shh. Go ahead, Andrew, this is Scott." He's like, "Yeah, what are you doing up there? Somebody sighted a cougar. Get out of there now." And so my crew and I, we put our head on a swivel, and we're looking around like the forest isn't very dense. It's just like really thin. The forest isn't very dense. It's just really thin, like pine forest, just like what we're in right now, actually. And there wasn't a bunch of bamboo or anything. And we said, I got on the radio, go, "Andrew, this is Scott. Go ahead, Scott." And I'm like, "Yeah, we don't see any cougars up here." And just then, so I hang up on the radio. Just then, right after I said that, I stepped over this big crack in the bluff, and I looked down, and right between my legs, 1 yard below me, 1 meter below me, 3 feet below me, is the back and the tail of a cougar in the crack of the rocks. And the cougar's looking right down at my cousin. And I'm like, it's got its back to me. So it's looking at my cousin. I go, "Andrew, this is Scott." "Go ahead, Scott." "Yeah, there is a cougar up here. It's right below me, between my legs, and it's looking right at you in the meadow." And my cousin's like, "Yeah, get out of there." I'm like, "Copy that." And I told my guys, let's get out of here. So I'm backing off of this freaking crack slowly. Told my guys, let's get out of this area. And they didn't listen. They all came over with their cell phone to take pictures. And even my cousin was like, got up close to it and took a picture. And after they got their pictures, then we all got out of there. And we had a little safety meeting in the meadow. And we're like, what are we going to do? We still have to put out the hot spots in this area. So what are we going to do about this dangerous animal? So Andrew's like, oh, I got an idea. He gets on the radio. Air to ground, this is Crew 11. Go ahead, this air ground. Yeah, we could use a bucket drop on this bluff over here, okay? Please drop it in the crack in the middle of this rock bluff. That's like to the west of the small lake. There's a hot spot inside the rocks that we can't access. Something like that. And air to ground goes, copy that. Bucket drop in the rock bluff. ETA, 5 minutes. Hangs up. 5 minutes later, helicopter comes and then gets really close in to the rocks and hovers right above the rocks and then drops that bucket right on the cougar in the crack. And we see that cougar just freaking bolt out of there. Probably all wet, yeah, we probably got it wet. And but we were kind of far away, so it was hard to see what if it got wet or not. So yeah, we got rid of the danger, the threat, and we continued working that day. The reason why we didn't tell the helicopter that it was a cougar is because everything on the radio out there is public, and as wildland firefighters, we're supposed to respect all animals, and we thought maybe it might offend somebody if we like called a bucket drop on a freaking cougar. So we kind of kept it a secret from everybody that day. But it's been like 10 years and I'm not naming any names, so it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, thanks. I hope you enjoyed the stories. Like I said, I have so many more stories. Seems like every time I tell a story, I make 2 or 3 more. So it's going to be endless stories. Hopefully not so much endless blabble. I'll probably just blabble and keep those videos to myself. I could use another one. Alright, thanks for watching. More are incoming. But before I go, let me show you the town. More stories or the mountains, first of all. Okay, there's the mountains. They go on. That goes all the way to that goes on and on and on, all the way to Tibet, freaking Himalayas, Pakistan. And this is looking east towards the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so this is Suji. I feel like a giant. I feel like almost like a god up here because I'm like above everything. Alright, there's some smoke down there. Huh. Okay. It's really dry out here, so there always is the potential for forest fire. But that doesn't worry me too much. Like this kind of forest burns like it's just a ground fire if it burns. Yeah, so, and I live there, and I teach chemistry over there. You can just barely see the high school. Alright, guys. I don't see any speed trains right now, but I got some of them on my other videos. So, yeah.